This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So Deontay Wilder, of course, emphatically, brutally stops Dominic Breazeale in round number 1 with a highlight reel knockout. I ain't gonna lie, I could probably watch that knockout over and over again. It was that good. So congratulations to Wilder for that one. But of course, since then, the Wilder fans, and a lot of them who were very, very quiet leading up to this fight, because they weren't too confident, suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and went back online, started trolling, want to come at me, not realising the fact that I did actually predict that Deontay Wilder would probably get rid of Dominic Breazeale in the first round. And I said I'll be very, very surprised if it goes past 3 rounds. If it went past 6, I would eat my underwear online. This is what I said. Now, that's not to say I didn't give Dominic Breazeale a puncher's chance. He's a heavyweight, he's very heavy-handed, so of course. But I was predicting Wilder to dispatch him in round number 1, if not, no later than round 3. That was my prediction, so you can get off my back for that one. Now, was it impressive victory? Yes, of course it was. It was round number 1, highlight reel knockout. So, of course, the Wilder fans, breathing their sigh of relief, decided to come on and seem to think that it's some kind of cheat code of a computer game, like Mortal Kombat. If you beat one, then you get the soul of the rest. It doesn't quite work that way, of course. But, okay, let's play that game. They want to play that pissing contest, so let's do it. Let's see how many Wilder fans can listen to the entirety of this video rather than just living in their delusional worlds. Yes, it's a fact that Deontay Wilder got rid of Dominic Breazeale in round number 1. Yes, it's a fact that Joshua did it in 7. So let's look at that one. And there's 2 more fights I'm going to talk about as well. Okay, so let's see if you can stay tuned for it. So Dominic Breazeale against Anthony Joshua. Well, that was Anthony Joshua's 17th professional fight. Wilder took him on in his 42nd. So already there's a whole world of difference between them. Joshua's 17th, Wilder's 42nd. Dominic Breazeale was undefeated when he took on Anthony Joshua. When Dominic Breazeale took on Wilder, he had a loss on his record to Anthony Joshua. So there's that one. But regardless of all that, these guys, they want to have their pissing contest like Wilder has suddenly got one up on Joshua. Okay, cool. So let's play along with that narrative. Well, Joshua took on Breazeale in his 17th professional fight when Breazeale was undefeated in his first defence of his IBF world title, which he got from Charles Martin. So he took on Dominic Breazeale because he wanted somebody to go rounds with. Up with the outside of Dillian Whyte, all other opponents, he was knocking over in the first couple of rounds. So he wanted somebody who's going to take him some rounds because he knew he was going to be fighting Vladimir Klitschko next. As it turned out, it wasn't going to be Vladimir Klitschko next. Klitschko, he injured his elbow or his wrist or something happened in sparring or training even. So that fight didn't happen. Joshua then ended up taking on Eric Molina. All right, and then took on Klitschko after them. But when he fought Breazeale, he had in his mind he was going to be taking on Klitschko next. So he chose Breazeale to deliberately go some rounds with. In addition to that, Joshua also had glandular fever. Yes, Wilder fans, you want to talk about reaching? This is not reaching, this is all factual. Okay, so Joshua took on Dominic Breazeale when he was undefeated in his 17th professional fight and he had glandular fever and deliberately went rounds with him. Because he didn't want to go past 3 or 4 rounds with Vladimir Klitschko because he knew he was going to be in a whole world of trouble. Because he didn't know whether or not he could go the distance or not. So there's that one. But Deontay Wilder, of course, he got rid of Dominic Breazeale in round number 1. But these guys want to say, okay, so Wilder has one up on Joshua. Okay, cool, go with that one. But you guys are clearly exposing yourself for a couple of reasons. Number 1, with the Dominic Breazeale fight, as I've already said about Joshua, but also with the fact that Dominic Breazeale, since Anthony Joshua, has only had 3 fights. He fought Joshua 3 years ago. Breazeale has only had 1 fight in the last 18 months against a gatekeeper in Carlos Negron. And the reason that he was so inactive is because he was waiting for his world title shot. Inactivity played a major, major part in this fight. You could see that when Wilder threw that punch, you could see that punch coming from a mile off. And Dominic Breazeale didn't even attempt to move out of the way. In fact, he tried to counter him with a left hook. Like that is going to work. Never going to work. Right? But regardless, okay, so Wilder has 1 up on Joshua. Congratulations to Deontay Wilder. Let's move into 2 more common opponents. Wilder fans, you didn't know about this, did you? So I'm going to tell you. Eric Molina is also a common opponent. Joshua took on Eric Molina in his 18th professional fight. So the fight after Dominic Breazeale, okay? And he got rid of Eric Molina in 3 rounds. Deontay Wilder, in his 34th professional fight, took on Eric Molina and went 9 rounds with him. In fact, went life and death with Eric Molina. Eric Molina had Wilder on Bambi legs. If you haven't seen the fight, go watch it. So, would you say that Joshua has one up on Wilder on that one? If you're saying that Wilder has one up on Joshua with the Breazeale one, then surely Joshua has one up on Wilder with Eric Molina, as he got rid of him in 3 rounds in a third of the time. Okay? So that will be 1-1, yes? Let's tip the scales. Jason Gavin. Deontay Wilder takes on Jason Gavin in his 32nd professional fight. Yeah, 1 fight before he got a world title shot. Unbelievable. 1 fight before he got a world title shot against Breazeale. He takes on Jason Gavin, who at that time already had 16 losses and 4 draws on his resume. He went 4 rounds with Jason Gavin. Joshua took on Jason Gavin in his 11th professional fight. Took him out in 3 rounds. So you could just base it on that one, that Joshua is 2-1 up. Isn't that right, Wilder fans? You don't like that fact, do you? No, you don't. Much like you don't like the fact that they come out and talk about how Joshua got dropped by Vladimir Klitschko, a former unified heavyweight champion for reigning for 10 years, drops Anthony Joshua. They think, oh, that's great. Wilder, he's never been dropped. Well, he has been dropped. He got dropped by Harold Skoniers in his 13th professional fight. Round number 2. Don't believe me? Go have a look on BoxRec. So, each and every time you try and throw mud gets thrown straight back. You never ever win these debates. You never win. Wilder is the lesser fighter when it comes to Joshua as far as resume goes. Ultimately, when these guys get in the ring, who knows who's going to win? You may be confident that Wilder's going to win. I may be confident Joshua's going to win. Only one of us is going to be right. And until that fight happens, it's all opinion. Not one of it is fact as to who's going to win. So you guys can talk about Wilder's going to smooth out Joshua in 2 rounds. Fact. It's not a fact, it's an opinion, you complete pleb. Alright? It's much like the whole debate where people run around thinking that they're some kind of hardcore boxing fan and call other people casuals. For me, everybody who is a boxing fan is in fact a hardcore fan. Just like there's different shades of it. You could be a hardcore in one area, you could be a hardcore in a different area, it makes no difference. Everyone is a boxing fan ultimately, and anybody running around telling you that or any channel running around telling you how they are hardcore, they are not entirely. In fact, I might actually do a video on that one, hardcore versus casual, just to expose some of these channels who seem to think that they are superior to other channels. They're not. Anyway, so Wilder fans, if you really want to do that pissing contest, well, Joshua is 2-1 up on Wilder in common opponents. Correct? Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.